the time between The Dark Knight Rises and Super Bowl LV was okay. So basically, I did that job. I PA'd a little bit more, I additional PA'd, and then I got really into doing camera work. Mm-hmm. I got a job as a DIT on a movie that got flipped, and I joined Local 600 as a DIT. That was like 13 years ago, and then I was in the camera department, and I worked as a DIT and a loader and a second AC and, whatever I could get my hands on in Pittsburgh. It's a small market. So, I was wearing a lot of hats. And I started getting pretty good at pulling focus and being a first AC. So I did that for a little while. And then I eventually moved to New York to pursue being a first AC. And I did that for a long time. And then about 6 years ago, I re-rated as a camera operator, and I've been doing steady cam work and Trinity work since then.
Was that a big transition? Like going from, you're working with DPs, operators as an AC, and then all of a sudden they call you and you're like, sorry, bro, I'm not gonna.
Well, the best thing about working your way up in the camera department is, if you're the camera operator on a job and you came up working with the same, or let's say, okay, you're the DP on a job. You're the only DP on the job, really. Mm-hmm. You don't get the chance to see how other people do things. But if you pull focus and you work as an AC, you get to see, I probably worked for 50 DPs in that time, and you get to see how all these different guys do all these different things, and you learn that there are many, many ways to sort of skin that cat, how to do stuff. And I think that's really valuable. And I really urge everyone to, that's coming up to take the time to understand the machine from different places in the departments. A really talented, she pulls focus now, but one of my mentors, as far as camera assistant stuff goes, is a really great focus puller, and I think she's operating now. But she worked as an assistant for a long time, and she said that she thinks that everybody should do a full run of a movie in the office as a PA and on set as a PA, because then you can really, when you're trying to get into the business, then you can really see from a low stakes perspective in terms of your job. Being a PA it's a hard job.
I think you just triggered John.
It's a hard job, but it is an entry level job.
For you to call it low stakes, though, the way you get yelled at, the people around you do not treat it low stakes.
No, but they should. They should treat it like that. These are kids. Yeah. These are kids that are trying to get into the business, and they're trying to learn how this stuff really works. And
they're humans.
They're human beings, and and they deserve to have the opportunity to not be abused. They're not getting paid any money. They don't know what's going on. Most of them don't have an education in cinematography or in computer programming or in something that's going to actually benefit them in one of the technical trades or crafts. So they're just there, and they're excited to be there, and they don't know what to do. Yeah. So it's
they're the least bitter on the crew.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
At the beginning of the job, they're the least bitter.
By the end of it, they're like half a pack of Marlboros complaining about everything.
Yeah. But it's really valuable to sort of embrace the job of being like, okay, well, I'm going to just do this, and I'm going to watch and listen and pay attention, and maybe I'll learn something, right?
It's not even just that department. Within grip, you work for 6 different grip crews. In New York here, it's you could be construction, you could be rigging, you could be shooting. This guy does it differently than that guy does it differently than this guy. Learning from everybody around you is something everybody should do.
Yes. Yeah. But I just mean as far as if you're 20 years old and you're watching the Rap Drinks podcast and you want to get into the movie business and you want to be a cinematographer someday, being a PA for any amount of time is going to be valuable to you in that pursuit. Yeah. And you shouldn't, poo-poo the job, you know? Like, you're going to end up bringing somebody coffee, but that guy might be James Stocktopole, you know?
Yeah.
And he's, or you know, somebody like that.
I mean, you never really know where your next job is going to come from when you're young like that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know.
Yeah, no, you don't. And those people are heavy hitters that you're helping out with, and they're not going to be mean to you if you are respectful and are trying to learn and trying to do the thing.
Take your phone and put it in your pocket and look.
Yeah, step one. Yeah, for real.
And look at shit.
And I would say also the people that are on crew that treat PAs like shit, like you'd never know if that PA one day is going to be your fucking boss. Like they could end up being the fucking director.
You salty fucking grip in
like,
Florida.
yeah, like
No, absolutely.
Bill Hader started out as a fucking PA on a lot of these jobs, and now he's like doing shit for HBO. Like he's a heavy hitter right now, you know. And I'm sure he remembers a lot of people that treated him like shit,
does.
and the people that helped him out. So there's and for sure, like as someone who worked as a PA, like there's a lot of trauma that happens working on those long spans of jobs, but you learn a fuck ton of stuff about just how the sets are run.
I think we've talked about this in the past too. Like as a crew member, it's pretty easy to tell which PAs want this.
Yeah.
Like there are people that show up and just are fucking idiots. And there are the people that look around and like they're trying to learn. And you know, it's
Pay
like
attention,
there's a difference between trying to impress me with your knowledge and showing me that you're trying to learn. Those are two, they're slight, but like if you just come up and start naming the gear that I'm working with, like that does nothing for anybody.
Yeah.
But if I see that you're watching me, like, oh, next time we need an additional and there's nobody available, maybe we'll try to pull you off the PA onto our crew.
Yeah.
You know, that's how a lot of camera
If the PA
PAs
sees you moving gear and just sees how hard it is, and all they do is they hold the door for you to bring the fucking muscle card in, you're like immediately like, 100%. Oh, you get that this is
instead of the PA who's just hanging around on the back
standing
of
in
the
the door.
tailgate.
standing in the door. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, certainly.
It's that simple. It really is.
Yeah. And don't be an eager beaver.
Yes.
Nobody likes a hero.
They used to say. But
No, nobody likes a hero, but they like to be helped out. 100%.
I mean, I'll take a PA that's asking if there's something that they can do to help over a PA that's just standing around doing nothing.
Yes.
Any day.
But it's a
week.
balance.
But
because
that's, the difference is hold the door for me. Don't try to grab my cart. That's that's the
don't
that's
try
the
to
thing.
take don't do the job. Don't do that.
But it's subtle. But you do have to know. You have to understand. Like there's a reason that there is that separation between the departments. It's as simple as that. Like if you grab a camera cart and you knock something off and the lens breaks, you just fucked something up.
Yeah.
Like and now that's on me, and you did that because I didn't ask you to grab my cart. That's different. You know, it's so hold the door and make it easier for me to get the cart through myself. That's the split.
Yeah.
That's valid.